contact information at all is done correctly. So the secretary is in charge of all those records. Club correspondence, sometimes we have an outside speaker and we will send a letter to them in appreciation or maybe in advance to clarify any arrangements. So any correspondence should be handled by the secretary. Additionally, the minutes from your board meeting are necessary when you go interact with the bank. The bank is going to create an account or change the account in some fashion, like the signature cards. You need that documented in the board minutes. And what's the last one?
Be a deputy to the VP of membership.
I can't hear you.
Be a deputy to the VP of membership.
Secretary also remains the club charter and bylaws. Have you gone online to look at what your club's bylaws and charters say? I did that. I was very amused when I read it. There are documents that have been there. Some of the clubs are 80 years old, so I can't say it's been online for 80 years, for good reason. However, since we've had the online capability, they have incorporated a lot of these documents. Go in and take a look at your bylaws and see if not only are they current, but are you following your bylaws for your club. Distinguished Club Program reports. Everybody familiar with DCP reports? We haven't talked about that yet, but we probably will. DCP gives us the opportunity for the club to be distinguished, select distinguished, presidents distinguished, based on educationals, administration, and membership. So those are the three focus areas for the DCP program. Membership rosters, I also wanted to say, are confidential, private, and should not be used for any purposes other than club business. So make sure that when you maintain your club roster, perhaps you have it on the website, perhaps you have it on an Excel table. Please make sure everyone who has access to that knows it's not for marketing, it's not for invitations to parties, it's not for external events. It is, in fact, only for club business, Toastmasters business. Here's the retention periods, reports from the exec committee and correspondence, 3 years. Bank statements, financial statements, 7 years. Vice President of PR. You've already had an excellent presentation by George Youssef. Give George a hand. I've been at Toastmasters 11 years. I've held all the positions. I still took a page of notes already before my talk. And I know all of you are taking notes now. You're probably going to have 2 or 3 pages by the time. But George gave some great ideas on what PR is all about, and marketing in particular. Vice President of Public Relations does these duties. Club website, if you're not particularly web agile, you will have a deputy that helps you with the website, maybe a webmaster for the club. Prepare and assist with the club newsletter. How many of you have a club newsletter? Look around at the room at all hands. There's an opportunity for someone to learn how to write a publication. Make it a blog, make it a newsletter, make it an email. Explain what's happening at your meetings. You heard a whole panel tell you about how exciting their meetings were. Spread the word. What's a newsletter about? Get the word out. There's an opportunity I think we all have. Social networking. And again, bearing in mind the issue about privacy, some members may not want their personal contact information on the social media for personal reasons. Make sure you have followed those guidelines. Aside from that, Meetup, Twitter, Facebook, all of those are very powerful tools when used correctly. And finally, open house events. George covered a lot of this, so I won't belabor the point. At club meetings, you can report on the publicity that's going on. Tell the club what are the events happening, who's doing what, where are the contests going to be, who's participating in the contest. We have area and district events, and what's the last one?
Be prepared to be a deputy of the membership.
Are these Toastmasters?
Be prepared to be deputy.
What you just said. What's the last point?
Be prepared to be deputy to the VP of membership.
Was that spoken as a Toastmaster? Vice President of Membership. This is the focal point for membership. All of the other officers are deputies to you, so we'll talk about what that means. Conduct membership building efforts, emphasize the different TI programs. Give the Smedley Award, the Talk Up Toastmasters, and the Beat the Clock, which are 3 different quarters of effort, which give guidelines, incentives, and acknowledgement for bringing in new members during those periods. Set up a goal for 1 new member a month. That would be a great goal. Some clubs, some of the more dynamic clubs that have an engine going with a continual flow of new people, of guests, new sign-ups, they don't have any trouble with that at all. Other clubs that don't have that quite in place, maybe they're a little on the small side, need to move in a direction of setting up 1 new member month. Why do we need 20 members? What's magic? 20 members.
Distinguished Club Program.
What was that?
Distinguished Club Program.
Distinguished Club Program. Say it again, Bob.
Distinguished Club Program.
That's a requirement in general.
That's about the number to maintain a healthy meeting.
Alan says that's the number of members to maintain a healthy meeting roles environment where everybody has something to do and no one is overworked and overburdened.
Yes.
It's a good balance. If we get 20 members, we will have the opportunity, if somebody can't make a meeting, it doesn't shut down the show. If we have 20 members, everybody gets the chance to participate in all the different roles, but not be overburdened with having too many things to do at one time. What about the guest info packs? How many of you have guest information packs that you provide to guests? Now look at the hands. Everybody, look at all the hands. This is a great idea. It gives you a chance to maybe put a welcoming letter, Toastmaster magazine, a membership application, any other information about your club that you want to share. What is it you build the excitement about? What is it that you get people interested in your club about? Give them something to take home with them. And the last item is something that Alan asked about earlier in the questioning period. What about current member satisfaction? Have any of you taken a poll of current members on how we're doing? How's it going? Toastmasters has a Moments of Truth program that's set up as one of their training activities. You can get this from TI, from their supply shop. It basically gives you a way of doing an audit on your club. How are we doing in different areas? What about our first impressions? What about our membership? Fellowship, variety, program planning, strength of membership, recognition of achievements. There's a very nice package to do Moments of Truth. If you haven't done it in a while, it would be a good one to consider. Handling a guest. Here comes the guest. What do? You say, go sit over here because I still have to plan the program. No, you have the program pre-planned as we had agreed to earlier in the day. You have the VP of membership leading, and you have the deputies as well as all of the other members following the role model. How do you greet the guest? Okay, this is training. Ready? Put out your hand. Put out your hand. Go on. Say, hi, I'm Wayne. Hi, I'm Wayne. Got it. It also works for the next speaker.
That's funny.
The idea is
Everybody's
to make
waiting.
them welcome.
Everybody's
Don't be
waiting.
overly aggressive. Don't attack the guest. Sometimes they're a little bit timid or shy. I've noticed a lot of times the guests will try to come in about 5 minutes late so they can sneak in. It doesn't work at Toastmasters. Oh, we have a guest. Let's introduce the guest. You see, when guests come in, they're generally, if they're not previously exposed to Toastmasters, a little bit shy, a little bit timid. What am I doing here? My spouse made me come. My boss made me come. I heard about this. Make them feel welcome. Introduce yourself. Introduce others. Say, after you've talked a moment, say, oh, I'd like you to meet Alan. I'd like you to meet Wayne. I'd like you to meet Kathy. And hand off the guest. Make sure the guest has the opportunity to meet all the members. If the guest leaves the meeting and feels like they know some people and they've made some friends, they're right at home. They're ready to come back. That's what it's about. That's how you treat a guest. Give them the info pack, something to take home. Ask them about what their goals and objectives are. Why are you looking into Toastmasters? Is there something in particular you'd like to work on? Is there something that motivated you to show up tonight? Why? How can we support you? How can we help you? That's where we go. And then always follow up with the guest. You heard George tell you the number of times the follow-up was needed. What was that number?
8 times.
What was that number?
8.
What was that number?
8.
8. Why does it take 8 times? We don't know, but statistics have shown that works. If you say hello to somebody and then you forget about them, they're going to forget about you. That's how it works. Follow up with new members, people that are getting involved, get them to work right away, give them the opportunity to be an icebreaker. Let them do an eye counting, let them do something in the meeting so that they participate immediately. Follow up with members not attending so you can find out what's going on. Is there an issue? How can we fix it? Deputize the other officers so that they ensure that they've been involved as well. Vice President of
Education.
Big job. Plan the meetings, the contests, the agendas, the schedules. VP of Education is to really ensure that that Toastmaster experience is presented on a golden platter so that everyone can participate. Serve as a key resource for educational programs and awards. Orient new members. Here's another one that we talked about briefly, assign mentors and manage mentor relationships. Clubs that have mentors, they develop some partnership, some friendship that really, I think, strengthens the relationships in the whole club. And you know what? You can rotate mentors from time to time. I still remember when I first joined Toastmasters 11 years ago, the mentor that I picked was Jeff Landau. And so Jeff and I are still pals, and we still get along. And I haven't seen him lately, but he went on to win a district speech contest. So he's doing well. And I said, Jeff, you can teach me something. I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe you can help me. And he says, follow me. And he showed me some things that I needed to know. It was very helpful, and it was a good friendship. VP of Education serves as the key resource for all the educational programs and awards. So as we're working towards the CCs, the CLs, the advanced levels, the VP of Education keeps track of where we are and what we still need to do. By the 4th meeting, new members should, and I'd say sooner than that, but new members need to be involved. President. Da-da-da. This is what we came for. How many of you are incoming presidents or continuing presidents? And how many of you have ever been a president or will become a president? How many plan to be a president in the future? Okay. Who did not raise your hand?
Stand up.
We have an opportunity here. As president, you hold the vision. You hold the values. It is your leadership that sets the tone for the whole meeting. What's your vision for the club? Why are we here? What's our reason for existence? How do I support every member? When you're the president, every member is your responsibility and your duty and your charge, and you have an open invitation to interact with every member at every level. The president holds the vision and the values, excites people, motivates people, gets them involved. Club administration, oversee the administration, run the executive council meetings, oversee the plan to get to distinguished, foster club leadership, teaching leadership principles to all of the officers, ensure that they know their particular responsibilities, keep an eye out for future leaders, maintaining the membership. President is the person that goes around. Have you ever seen the magician that goes out on the stage and he puts the stick here and he puts a plate on it and starts spinning the plate? Then he goes to the next one, then he goes to the next one. And oh, the first one needs a little help. He pretty soon they've got all of the plates going. And then when he finally stops, they all come crashing down. So it is with being president. You have the opportunity to help spin the plates of every member and help them when they're faltering. Keep them moving, keep them involved, keep them moving. Another thing is setting the standard for the meetings. We talked about having quality meetings, making them fun. To set the standard, require manual speeches and effective evaluations. That's what we're about. Evaluation is the feedback that this is one of the best places in the world to learn how to do that. In the corporate world, we're called on to do performance evaluations and things of that nature. Until I learned about Toastmaster evaluations, I never realized how feedback could help people, how you could motivate people if it's done effectively, or how you could totally destroy someone with a poor feedback. So the skill of using the Oreo cookie, tell them something positive you like, give them a suggestion or two to improve, and end it with a motivational impact that says, I can't wait to hear your next speech. Something along that line really is the way we do it. It works beautifully. Executive committee responsible for ensuring all the team members are collaborating, things are working, people are doing their job. If they're not doing their job, you might find out why. Is there something we can do to help you? Is there some issue that needs to be addressed? How can we, and if you're totally out to lunch, then we need to replace you. These are all valid comments for the president to lead that conversation. And it can be done in a non-judgmental way, just as we do evaluations. We want to evaluate the club's performance with each of the officers. Make it enjoyable. Train your successor. Monitor your distinguished club report. See how you're doing from time to time. It's online. You can look at it 24/7. Here's where we stand. Are our reports in on time? Are our membership drives working? Do we have those 4 new members that we needed? Are we getting the educationals completed? How about CCs, or how about advanced? Maybe we're putting more emphasis on CCs than advanced. Let's balance that. Let's direct it a little bit. Leadership challenge. Make sure the goals are realistic. You don't necessarily want to tell the brand new member who's there for the first time, who is timid and shy, you're going to be a distinguished Toastmaster by October. Maybe they don't want to be. You see, the realistic goals part comes in that we each have a life. We each have outside relationships. We have outside duties, jobs, careers, other clubs and activities. So the realistic goals need to be made for each individual. It's done at an individual level. I own my own goals. I receive the input, but it's ultimately my choice to set goals realistic for me. And that's true for all members. Strategize. What if something's not working? What do we do? Go talk to George. He'll tell you how to pump it up.
Yeah.
Collaborate among the members, monitor how you're doing, and do some coaching. Coaching is basically giving people feedback and suggestions. Delegation is a key part also. If you can't perform your duty for some reason or another, or if you just want to help and develop new people to step into your slot when you're done with it, you perform delegation. First of all, decide what you want to develop, what you want to delegate. Think about who you should take that task and see if they'll agree to do it. Third, note the assignments in your minutes at the meeting, and then follow up for accountability. A lot of times delegation doesn't work because we delegate and forget it. And then when it doesn't work, we say, well, I delegated it. I did delegate it. It's not on me. I delegated it. No. The follow-up is basically to provide the support and the accountability. Maybe the person receiving the delegation has an issue that comes up. Maybe they can't quite do it. Maybe they don't have the right vision of what needs to be done. That's why the accountability and follow-up is so important. Again, get out your little book. It's a tiny little book, but it has a lot in it. It has a lot in it. I really urge you to take a look at it again and refresh any skills. You know, it's funny about this book. Do you know that between the last time you read it